Yeah. Well, hello, Deontay.
What's going on, Sas?
We've been trying to get together for the longest time.
Yeah, yeah, they've been
So, so for you, Sastas out there, me and Deontay have been communicating for a while, and we have been trying to get together, and we finally are able to do this interview. So, Deontay, you doing all right?
yeah. See, you thought I
This
forgot. I ain't
I know
forget.
you did. I did not think that. I did not think that whatsoever. I was surprised when I found out that you came across my channel. I was very shocked by that.
Oh yeah, you one of the bloggers that was in my lineup of Love at the Lockup reviews whenever I watched them. Yeah, you one of my top what 5 I think. Yeah,
Okay, ain't no wrong with that. I will
yeah.
say, when you came on the show, you definitely brought it. Your season was one of my favorites. It really was because you showed up and showed out.
Man, if you say so, or
You didn't watch it?
cutting the shive like you say, I be saying that all the
Cutting
time.
a shine. Did I tell you you was cutting a shine?
Yep, I say that all the
Okay.
time.
All right. So, first question, most important question. How's your mama doing?
She doing all right. Actually, my mama is a saster. Mama, yeah,
Yes. That just tickles my heart right there.
my mama, you and Auntie's advice, and Sherelle, she watch y'all. And then, and then she be using your terminology too. It's funny.
Ooh, well, in these parts, she's always welcome.
Yeah,
Always welcome. So,
I remember she
Deontay,
first. I remember she
go ahead.
first started doing that. I said, "Where you get that from?" I said, "You've been watching Sass."
And she
Yeah,
has.
when she first started saying "lot lizard," I knew her. I said,
Oh
where you
no,
get that from?"
we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right, we'll get to that
Uh,
in a minute. How did you come across doing the show?
I was a fan of the show, actually. I've been watching Love After Lockup since season 1, since Lizzie. That was the first segment I seen, was Lizzie and Scott. And then I got sucked in because I was like, who is this pretty light-skinned woman? And I was like, what's this about? Then I started watching it, and then I just happened to be dating an inmate at that time, Chelsea. But no, it didn't even happen like that. Chelsea is actually the one that got me watching the show. I remember now.
Uh-huh.
I remember I was in Chicago with Chelsea, and we was in the hotel, and I came from buying some food, and she had Love at the Lockup on, and I seen Lizzie and Scott, and I said, "Who is this?" I said, "What you looking at?" And she said, "It's called Love at the Lockup. I like it because it reminds me of us." I said, "It remind you of us?" And then I sat down and watched it, and I got sucked into it. And then the next season, I think I seen Lacey in them, and I was like, "Oh, this good." And then Michael, Sarah, Megan,
Mm-hmm.
all of them, yeah.
Right. And so you wanted to join.
No, I just was a fan. I ain't never want
Okay.
to be on the show. Nicole wanted to be on the show. That's
Okay.
how we got on the show.
So Nicole is the one that brought you on the show.
Yeah, she didn't know what it was. Like she was in prison when it first aired, so she
Mhm.
didn't have a clue what it was. It's just when I started talking to her, I started telling her about the show. I said, "Yeah, I watched this show called Love After Lockup. Kind of, it's like people dating people in prison, and I told her about it, and she just was like, "Oh my God, you got to get us on that." Yeah, I said I done told this story so many times. I said I'm not finna go on that show. I said no, I know how they make people look. You're not finna get me on there. I'm good.
Mhm.
But she just kept pressing it like
Mhm.
every week.
Mhm.
She would press it. I want you to write them. Can you write them? Can you write them? And I was like, I'm not doing that. And then finally, I don't know why I did it. It just was a Saturday. I was in here cleaning, and my cousin was here, and my little brother was here,
Mm-hmm.
and my laptop just happened to be open and on at the time. So I just was like, man, let me go ahead and email these people
Right.
so she can shut up. That's why I did that. I said
Mm-hmm.
so I could tell her I did it, and they didn't respond. She could leave me alone about it. So I emailed them. I told them my story. I sent them pictures of me and Nicole. Like I sent them 10 pictures each of us. And I got a call 10 minutes later from a New York phone number that I almost
Not
didn't.
10 minutes. They couldn't wait
Yeah,
20.
I almost didn't answer because I don't answer numbers I don't recognize. But
Right.
I just happened to pick it up that particular day, and it was somebody from Sharp Entertainment. Interested in getting us on the show. It was like, you guys look so good and your story's so
Mm-hmm.
good. And I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
snap. I was like, for real? They was like, yeah, we want you guys on. And I was excited. You know, I always wanted to be on TV, so it was
Uh-huh.
excited for me. And then I emailed Nicole. I said, baby, call me ASAP.
Uh-huh.
I got some news. And then she called and I told her, and she was excited. And yeah, we was,
Were you nervous?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was excited at the thought of being on TV, especially my favorite, pretty much one of my favorite reality shows
Right.
behind Temptation Island is Love After
Mm-hmm.
Lockup. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, but then at the same time, I was like, well, I ain't never did this. I don't know how exciting we gonna be because I didn't realize how much drama we had until it happened.
Oh, you
Uh,
had the drama.
yeah, I was like, we gonna be boring. I was like, you know, I just ain't never been on TV, so I don't know how
Right.
this stuff work. I don't
Right.
know how the industry work.
Mhm.
I don't want my character to be looking right crazy, and it
Oh,
was.
say that again. Say that again. You didn't want your what?
I want my character to be looking right crazy, but
Child. Let's talk about it. Okay.
yeah,
Now, how do you, after watching it, and you see how you were portrayed?
I was pissed. You want to
I'm
know the
sure you
truth?
would. I do. Oh, we're
Yeah.
about to have all the conversation. So you were pissed because when I was watching it as a viewer, I was like, now I know this boy is not sitting up here doing all this in front of those cameras.
That's one of the
I
things
mean, even Nicole Jr.
well, that's
I was
another
like,
one.
I know not.
That's another one of them things I was nervous about because I watched all these reviews. I watched Auntie's Advice and Sherelle's World and Bondi Blue and
Right,
you and
right.
giving you the real tea and true
That's
feelings
right.
by me. All these different bloggers. So I'm like,
Uh-huh.
they getting ready to review me.
Right.
And
Right.
I was always, and then I found all these other bloggers that I didn't know about before reviewing me. And then
Mhm.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you were pissed.
I was scared about that, but I was pissed because I'm trying not to say too much. I was pissed
Okay, well
because
you
no, I was pissed because it's like I went into this thing green. I went into this thing excited.
Mhm.
Just the fact of the prospect of being on TV. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into when I got
Right.
myself into it.
Yeah.
So when you hear that term "sold your soul,"
Yeah.
after doing this for what 3 seasons now, you
Uh-huh.
kind of feel like that
Right.
because the story that you think is going to be portrayed or that
Right.
is
Okay.
what's up don't necessarily get portrayed that way, and your image is basically being shifted by people behind the scenes that want to tell whatever narrative they trying to tell.
Yeah. Do
So
you regret it?
no, somewhat like I
Mhm.
it's a gift and a curse. I always say
Right.
it's
Uh-huh.
I don't regret it because I wouldn't be sitting here doing this interview if it
All
wasn't for
right.
that. I wouldn't
You're
be
right.
as popular as I done became.
You have.
Uh, I wouldn't have the exposure I got, and I wouldn't current day and time things that's happening right now wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for that show. But at the same time, just like I got a lot of people that just like I'm popular, it's a lot of people that can't stand me. You don't have your personal life no more. You can't really do nothing. You got to answer to somebody for everything you do. You can't please everybody. It tear up your personal life.
Yeah.
And if you
Do you
ain't
have? Go ahead.
and if you ain't thick skinned, it mess up your mental. So you know.
Do you have a lot of hate coming your
Absolutely.
way? Really?
Yeah, what? I get hate every day.
Why? Why? I mean, when I seen you on the show, I didn't hate you. In fact, you are one of my favorite. I call them participants. You're one of my favorite participants because you do seem like a very genuine guy who got caught up in this reality show. And I know that you have to put on somewhat for the camera, and I think that's what's frustrating is when we see what you went through, with Nicole and that whole season, and us screaming at the TV and us wanting to headbutt you. I mean, we was like, Deontay, come here.
I mean, you walk into it blind, and then you get your real feelings and emotions exploited.
So where does the hate come from?
A whole lot of things. A lot of it because of the way I'm portrayed on the show. Like I said, because you know what you film. You film hours and hours of footage, and you know what you say and what you mean by what you say when you say it. Right. But you ain't in control over what get presented. So just because you film hours of footage, they're only going to use like a few minutes of it. And then sometimes your words can get twisted up into mean something you didn't really mean for it to say. So it's a lot to do with how I'm portrayed on the show. On top of that, it's the whole thing with people just have this infatuation with who I'm attracted to. Okay, so being a black man,
not the hands,
being a black man on that show.
Wait a minute, Deontay, stop right there. I know what you're gonna say. Because me and you had this conversation, but let me start off by saying Chelsea. She was in prison, correct?
Yeah.
Was she white?
Yeah.
Okay, so Nicole, she was in prison. Was she white?
Yeah.
And so then we segue into Lindsey.
Yeah.
Who was in prison and also white. Now, you can date, and I know your preference. People have preferences. So with that being said, I know what you're about to go into. So I'm going to let you speak, and then we'll talk. So go ahead.
Well, I done said it a million times before in a million interviews and on my live videos. However, everybody just thinks that I only like white girls. And everybody just swear up and down I got an infatuation with inmates. Ain't none of that true.
Okay.
I have had a tendency, I guess, in my lifetime to attract more white girls than I have black girls in my lifetime. All right. I seem to be attracting a lot of black girls these days, nowadays.
So I guess you were like, where were they at before?
Not even that. It's just, I guess it was the ones, like I always say, it just was the ones I liked. Because I ain't gonna never say all black women just did. It's just the ones that I was going for. I guess I just wasn't their cup of tea. I was too nice. I have enough swag. I wasn't hood enough. But, it was whatever, so. I guess you kind of, after a while, you just, after being rejected so much and, friends on, whatever the case may be, you segue into what accepts you.
And this is what accepts you?
And I just happened to attract a lot of white girls in my lifetime. And so
a lot of white girls has been in inmates.
No.
Okay.
A lot of my girlfriends have been white or Latina. That's why I always say I have a weakness for Latina and white women. But I date anything I'm attracted to. It don't matter.
Well, your mama said you had a type.
My mama don't know what I like. My mama don't. I don't tell my mama my whole love life. Yeah, I done been with white girls like Nicole. I done been with girls just as dark as me. I done been with I was engaged to an Asian woman. I done been with Latina women, indigenous women. It don't matter to me. If I'm into you, I'm into you. I ain't never been a judgmental of
Yeah.
ethnicity. A lot of people are. It just ain't never been my thing. And people look at me like I'm crazy because I don't think like that. I just don't. Like, it just don't matter to me. It never has. The inmate thing, no. That's just a coincidence right there.
Oh, that was a coincidence.
Because with Chelsea, that just happened off of a dare. Like, when my homegirl that I used to work with, she's a stud. Me and her used to do security together. We was watching this prison documentary, and it just prompted her to go on the internet and just start looking at inmates. And then she found a website with women, and she said, dang, some of these girls too pretty to be in prison. And I said, let me see that. And then I looked, and she basically dared me to write one of them. And I did. And I started getting letters back, and I just was like, oh, snap. Like, this is another way to meet women like that. Because I was in a slump at that time. I had just got out of my engagement with the woman that I was engaged to. I'm shy, so it's hard for me to go out and meet people. I ain't that shy no more, but I was back then. And it just, sometimes I come across awkward when I try to approach people because I get nervous, you know. And then I tried to, online, like Tinder, like I restarted my Tinder. And I was meeting girls on Tinder, but they was only interested in sleeping with me. Like that. I guess I got sex appeal, which is a good thing. So a lot of the girls on Tinder would meet me and just want to sleep with me. And I would go do it. Obviously, I'm a man. I'm going to go do it. But that's all it was. And I wanted more than that. So I found that as another avenue because I'm like, okay, well, these people ain't got nothing better to do than to read what you're talking about. So they can listen to your story and get to know you. And then I ended up finding Chelsea that way. And we had our thing. And then as we was falling out, I was so in love with her. It was so hard for me to just walk away from her. And if I would have just broke up with her, all I would have been doing was sitting around wondering what Chelsea had going on. Looking at her social media, I wouldn't have been able to just walk away that quick. So I basically found Nicole because I was looking for somebody to, take my attention away from Chelsea. So I didn't go right to a prison website right after I broke up with Chelsea. And I hate that's how they portrayed it because that ain't what I started trying to do other stuff again, like going out, doing the online thing. It just wasn't working for me. So then my last resort was I'm gonna see if I maybe can find another inmate that'll work this time. And I said, I'm gonna look for somebody specifically in the state of Virginia this time because Chelsea was in Chicago and it was long distance and it just caused a lot of problems. So I was like, if I can find somebody here, it'll work better, And so that's when I went on Paper Dolls and scrolled.
Paper doll, not paper doll.
And then I scrolled through about 3 pages, and that's when I came across Nicole. And I was like, oh, she cute. But then I didn't stop right at her. I went to like 2 more pages, and then I said, all right, I'm going to go back to that one. And then I checked her out and read her profile. I seen how old she was and seen that she was 10 years younger than me. And I said, oh, no. At first, I said, no, I ain't going to talk to her. But then I just was curious, and then I said, well, let me check out some more. Then I went and found her Instagram, and I saw how she was, and she looked like she was all about some money and all that. And I said, oh, no, that's just another Chelsea. Like, that was the first thing that popped up in my mind. So I sat on that for 3 days. And then I said, you know what? I'm not going to judge this girl based off of Chelsea. I'm going to give it a chance because I was really attracted to her. So I said, let me just write to her and see what happened. And I wrote to Nicole. I wasn't broken up with Chelsea just yet, but I was getting there. Wrote to her. Gave her my number, sent her pictures of me. She tried to call me, I guess, and I didn't answer the phone because I didn't recognize the number. It wasn't until I listened to the voicemail that I realized that it was Nicole trying to call. So I said, "Oh snap! I missed her call."
Uh-huh.
And then when I realized the number it was that she was calling from, um, I kept waiting for her call. Matter of fact, I wrote to her again. I said, "Hey, I saw that you wrote me, and I mean, I saw that you called me, and I missed your call." So I remember one time she kept calling me, and I was sitting right next to Chelsea, and I couldn't answer the phone. And
Oh, Deontay.
Chelsea kept looking at me like, "Who is that calling you?" And I was like, "Man, I don't know, a bill collector or something."
Just lying. Just
And she
lying.
was like, "Pick up the phone." I said, "I'm not answering that." And I was in my head, I was like, "Damn, I want to answer this." And then eventually, me and Chelsea just fell out for good. Like
Right.
I tried as long as I could to stick with her. She just wouldn't stop what she was doing, and I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
And I finally had started talking to Nicole, and I was liking Nicole, so I said, "I'm gonna give this a shot." So I let Chelsea go, and started with Nicole. And well, you see
But you
how
know
that
how
worked
that
out.
exactly. So, are you still in communication with Nicole, or is that dead and done and over?
Absolutely not. I ain't got
Yeah.
nothing to say to her. She ain't got nothing. I ain't got
Hmm.
nothing for her. Matter of fact, let me clear up something. On that first season, when I said I don't like materialistic girls, and then they just segued into Nicole asking me for money, that
Right.
pissed me off. Because what I said was, I don't like materialistic girls. I said, however, Nicole is very materialistic,
Hmm.
and that's something that I hope she drops at some point. I'm just dealing with it right now. And they cut out all of that. It, oh, I was so mad.
Obviously, you gave Nicole money, correct?
Yeah.
And you gave her other things, correct?
Yeah, that all of that stuff from that first episode on that bed, I bought. Like all of that was
Uh-huh.
actually real stuff that I bought, other than the daggone, what was it? A gag ball and some handcuffs. I didn't buy that mess.
Who bought that?
That was something they wanted to include.
Okay, all right.
I was like, y'all just
Okay.
want me to look like a pervert, don't you?
Excuse me. So, all the money and the material things,
That stuff that
and yet, you still didn't crack the back.
and you know what? That stuff that she specifically wanted. Like I could go through her email. She specifically wanted. She wanted $1,000 cash. Michael, like she wanted. That's why I kept telling Derek. That's what she wanted, dog. Like that's literally what she asked for, and she won't. And she would have been mad if I didn't have it. So I was just doing what she asked me to do. Everybody
Okay.
think I just went out and bought all that lingerie. She wanted that lingerie. She asked me
And
for
you
it.
bought it.
Yeah, that's why I bought it. So then she
And look,
looked. That's why I'm looking at her like she crazy when we in my car talking about some. What's this? What you think it's for?
she had anxiety issues, correct?
That was a bunch of book. That's some book. I'm a cuss. That's some
There you
bullshit
go.
right there.
I tell you right now, honey, them love about the lockup participants is a whole lot of anxiety.
I get so sick and tired of that. Oh,
Mhm.
Nicole, hell no.
Really?
Absolutely not. That you know what? Like I said, I done binge watched them seasons over again. Plus, just I done seen the little interviews they done did about me. That girl, I can't. It's just a blatant disregard for somebody's feelings. Like just I would never. I don't never. I don't understand why I was ever in love with her because she never loved me. She never cared about me, and I have nothing for her at all. I ain't got nothing nice to say about her. I stopped talking about the two of them a long time ago, and
Hmm.
they get on these interviews, still talking about me because they
Hmm.
not relevant and don't nobody care about them, and that's just what the truth is. And then what happens is the same people that end up interviewing them find me to get my response because I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I carried that story. I'm the reason why people want to see that story. They boring, and everybody know that.
Okay.
So, and that's just what it is. Like, I ain't got no sympathy for neither one of the two of them. I try to leave them alone, and they want to throw shots at me and call me out my name and create up these false narratives that her mama done put in her head that I done had to dispel so many times. So with that situation, I ain't got no love for them.
We done talked about why you're on the show, how you felt like you were portrayed. Now, after all that, after all the drama with Nicole, you done cut a shine. We've done raked you through the coals.
Some of that stuff I gotta take credit for. Like Nicole Jr. was mine. That was absolutely mine. I named it Nicole Jr.
Exactly.
I had no intention of putting it on TV though. I never wanted to put that on TV. I didn't even want people to know. I didn't even want people to know about that. How that came about was the guy from casting, when he was casting me, was talking to me, and basically he was trying to get me to come clean and admit that I had been cheating on Nicole while she was in prison because they want the drama, you know. But I hadn't been. He was like, "Come on, man." I said, "I ain't been doing nothing, dog." And then I told him I got something to take care of that. And then I told him what it was. And that was the worst mistake I could have ever made.
Well, wait a minute. That's not the worst mistake.
I mean,
the worst mistake is when we seen you physically put that in the dishwasher.
All I'm gonna say about that is, you know what? Sometimes it's great television. I'll put it that way. And it's a memorable moment, and we're talking about it to this day. So
you all right. So we've seen all this.
Just like there's what else I gotta take credit? Crawling on my knees, that was all me.
Crawling on your knees.
Remember when she gave me that little lap dance and water, that was me.
And when her homeboy showed up and you was in the middle of the street.
Oh yeah, that was all me.
You, right?
Oh yeah, that wasn't nothing. That was I was pissed. Oh, I was pissed.
What would you have done if he would have got out that car?
Oh, we'd have went at it. Like I didn't really go at him because I could see. I didn't really go at him.
Do hands?
If he would have walked up to me, yeah. Ain't nobody finna just walk up to me. Oh, you better be lucky he stayed in the car. Like, you see, I didn't really go at him because I could see in his face that he didn't know who in the world I was or what was going on.
Yeah, you could tell. He was just like looking.
It wasn't no point for me to go at him. It was her. It's always been her.
Yeah.
And I wish I would and that's another thing, like, the way they do things is they keep people in the dark. Like I'm always the one in the dark because they always want that authentic reaction, which is great. I understand it's great TV. It's great.
It is.
But for you to personally, it's not like that. It exploits your feelings and emotions. Just like, because I done binge watched both of my seasons. So I got a fresh memory of all this stuff now. Just like that one scene where she was out there kissing out there in the hotel with Tia and all that. I knew nothing about that until I seen it on TV. Like nobody told me. The crew didn't. Nobody told me. I remember that day she was filming. I just didn't know what she was filming. I remember they filmed with me earlier in the day, and then they went with her, and I didn't see her the rest of that day. And I remember texting her at like 10 o'clock. I said, "You still filming?" She said, "Yeah, I'm almost done." Then I didn't hear from her the rest of that night, and that's because she was in some hotel with Tia. And then they came to my house the next day and asked me, have you talked to Nicole since last night? I said, nope. But that's when I seen them all on social media hugged up with each other. And they acted like they were surprised, like they didn't know all that. All the while, they done been filming it all. So I was just like, they was like, oh, snap, oh my God, she did that. I'm like, yeah. And all the while, I come to find out when the season there, it was all filmed to begin with. So they all knew. So I kind of, now that I've been on 2 seasons, 3 now, I kind of understand how this works.
All right, well, let me ask you this. Knowing all that, why do another season?
Well, that kind of just came about.
Okay, stop right there. Okay, well, let me backtrack. So news broke
After that
that
disaster of a wedding that they
yes,
had,
right.
I should have been done. Like
You
pretty
should have
much.
been. You should have been done when that should have been it, Deontay. That wedding. Because that was a wedding of always. That is probably one of my favorite Love After Lockup episodes. Because Deontay, I was sitting there looking at you like, now I know they don't have Deontay walking through the woods in those slip and slide shoes on
I was fly in that
behind
outfit.
behind the tree. Okay, I give it to you. You was a little clean. You was clean. You are behind a tree.
That right there, they got me with that. I didn't even know. So basically, well, I didn't. Okay, so how Tia and Nicole was upset that I was at their wedding, and I'm just gonna put it this way, so was I. But you know
Okay.
what? Know what? I was there. So
All right.
when I was by that tree, basically I was sitting on that rock watching them get married. I was hurting. I didn't want to see all of that. For
Of
real, for
course you
real.
didn't. Hmm.
But they was like, "Can you see?" I said, "I can see." So they was like, "Why don't you get up, a little closer to the tree?" I was like, "I can see from where I'm at." Yeah, just get closer to the tree. So I just like, well, all right. I'm always oblivious to what's going on. So I just like, well, all
Oh,
right then.
Deontay.
So I said, all right. I just got close to the tree and didn't
So you
realize
just got
what
hold up.
I didn't
Hmm.
realize what they was doing until I saw it on TV.
Right, right.
just like them making it look like I got arrested. I didn't realize that's what they was doing
Hands
either.
behind your back, child. I said, now what is going on?
I remember that day when they was talking to me, they was like, why don't you lean over your car a little bit and put your hands behind your back? I was like, for what? And they was like, just I said, okay. And I was like, why am I talking like this? This weird. But I was like, okay. And then I just said what was on my mind. Is this what my life then came
Oh
to?
my.
Because that was embarrassing. That was super embarrassing.
Oh, very much so. Very much. But I was glad that when Tia swung, I'm so glad you didn't hit her.
She tried it, yeah.
She tried it. And I was like, Deontay, please don't hit that girl.
Nah, I wouldn't. I got enough self-control not to do like I said, what is she doing right now? She was reaching for hair like I had hair.
Honey, she was used to scrapping them girls in the prison, child. Scrapping for them oodles and noodles and Debbie cakes.
I said, you doing all that and you the one that fell on your ass at the end. And then it was funny because what they didn't show, like they showed me when she attacked me, I still had the suit on. And then when they showed me next, I'm out of the suit screaming, don't call me no more. That's because Tia ran up and tried to spit at me. And she missed and she hit the
Not the
security guy.
spit.
Yeah, but I was so pissed off at that. I threw off that suit. I said, "You want to go now? Let's go." But the guy grabbed me, and that's when I just kind of went on my little rampage a little bit. But
So let's talk about. I'm not going to go into the season, but let's talk about Lindsey.
want to see now when I say it just came about.
So Lindsey, who have been on this show before,
Yeah,
and she was not a fan favorite. So then word came about that you, Deontay, somehow done got involved with Lindsey. You done broke the internet. Folks done lost their mind, including me. I said, now I know Deontay ain't lost his mind.
yeah.
What is Deontay? He done went from the cold, the drama, the wedding from hell, the cutter shine. He done went from that to Lindsey. How did it come about?
Well, truth be told, Lindsay and me had been talking all along, like since I first appeared on the TV screen, all the way up until Lindsay and me had already done been talking.
Did she contact you?
Yeah, basically
Go ahead.
how that happened. They didn't. We wasn't even gonna be on the season for real. For real, the production was upset that we was talking. But what happened was they had started showing me on previews for the upcoming season. Like they had started showing me on the commercials, and they were showing me the most, from that particular season. I was the one being showcased the most, so I wasn't on TV just yet. My story
Okay.
hadn't aired just yet, but I was being shown, and so
Mm-hmm.
On Instagram, I hadn't changed my name to Love After Lockup just yet. I waited, I think, 2 weeks before my season aired to do that. So when I did that, that's when I started to get a little bit of followers. It wasn't as large as it is now, but
Yeah.
I was starting to gain followers, and some people were starting to DM me. And then I got a DM from Simply Lindsey, and I jumped up. I remember I looked at my phone and hopped up out the bed, and I was like, "Oh snap!" Because I knew who she was. I watched her.
So you jumped up when you
Yeah,
seen that name.
yeah, I knew who Lindsey was. I had a crush on Lindsey when she was on, even though she was crazy. I liked her for some reason.
Of course you did. I'm gonna bite
and
my tongue. I'm gonna bite my tongue. Go ahead.
and I don't know. I just at first I was just infatuated and surprised that a girl from TV, the TV show that I watch, is in my DMs talking to me. So the first thing I said was, "What's up, girl? How you talking to me? Ain't you?" Because I knew she was in prison. So I was like, "Ain't you supposed to be in prison?" Because I was already following Lindsey as a fan. Like I followed her when she was on, so I was already one of her followers, and she didn't know that. So I found out that it wasn't actually Lindsey that I was talking to. It was somebody talking for her. But she was basically telling me, Lindsey's been looking for you for weeks. She really wants to talk to you. She likes you. I was like, really? And she was like, yeah, she wants your number. I said, hell yeah, give her my number. And so Lindsey got my number and called me for the first time. And we talked and we hit it off. Like I was skeptic of her at first because the first
Mm,
thing I said was, "What you trying to do?" I said, "What you up
okay.
to?"
And what was her answer?
I was like, "What you trying?" At first, I asked, I said, "What you trying to secure yourself another season?" Like I was just being
Hmm.
upfront. Like, what's this about? She was like, "Secure another season? I could do that with anybody. I've got plenty of pen pals, or I'm talking to a sugar daddy or something right now. I can go on the season with." I was like, "Oh, okay." So then I was like, so what's up then? Like, what you up to? And she just was basically like, I think you're fucking hot. I like you and this and this. And I was like, well, don't. I said, I ain't even on TV yet. How you know me? Like, she was like, I see you on the WeTV commercials. You know, we get WeTV in federal prison. I was like, really? And she said, yeah. So I begged her not to judge me based off of how it's put,
Yeah.
how I'm gonna look, but she
Hmm.
already know because she on the show. So she was
Right.
like, "Trust me, you don't have to tell me about that, this, that." So I was like, "Okay," and I let it be known that I'm not giving you no money. Like I was like, "Listen, I like you and all that,
Stop
but
right there. Stop right there. Thank you, Jesus. Go ahead.
yeah," I said, "I like you. You know, so I think you fine as hell, all this, yeah, but you know," I said, "I ain't giving you no money."
I think your Rachel is beautiful. Why?
Yeah, right.
Why did you hook up with Rachel?
Why everybody keep trying to send me with Rachel? Me and
I'll
Rachel have
tell
a
you why. Because you and Rachel make sense. See,
me and
this
Ra-
don't make sense.
me and Rachel have a very very close relationship. Rachel is like my other, you know, Rachel like I guess
Like
like
your
my
sister, like your
yeah,
homegirl.
and you know what I'm saying. I just don't want to mess up what we got. Like we
Okay.
already, and
All right.
it ain't always. Everybody swear up and down. It's up to me. How y'all know that I'm even Rachel's type?
Okay. You right. You right. You right.
But no, what I was saying about Lindsay is
Go ahead.
I find her attractive. You know, I ain't just because she ain't the perfect person in the world don't mean she ain't attractive. I think she looks like a model. So
You think she looked like a what?
a model, she got a yeah, she models anyways. So yeah, but
Deontay, you really, Deontay, you
she do
really
model.
had me.
She do model.
Okay.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of the cast members on the show that I find attractive.
Hmm.
Not just Lindsay, but I'm just saying in that conversation, I just told her I think she fine, and but I'm not giving you no money. I ain't doing it this time. So if that's what
Okay.
you want, if she didn't want no money. She was like, I have money. I was on the show too, you know.
Right.
So she was cool with that, and
So
so
she gets out of prison, and
and
I
I
know you
said,
can't say.
And one other thing I said was I was like, well, listen, man, you've been on this, so you know how this works. I said, I'm probably gonna have some attention coming my way. I'm just saying. I mean, but she was, you know, she had a girlfriend in there. So she said, you know, you let me entertain my girlfriend while I'm in here. I can't expect you to just wait for me and be fake. I know you're gonna get a lot of attention from girls, so I can't expect for you to just wait for me. So she kind of let me do my thing while she was in prison. Just so long as she was number one, and I made time for her, no matter what, no matter where I was at. I'm saying this for a reason, because when this, you'll see when it airs.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
But you know, I had to make time for her. It didn't matter where I was at, whether I
Yeah.
was at the airport, at the barber shop. I remember I was doing a YouTube video with Rachel and my friend Jenna Shea, and Lindsey called, and I had to excuse myself. I just had to make sure I made time for Lindsey and not make no babies and not catch feelings for nobody. And if
Yeah.
somebody caught feelings for me, I had to cut them off. That's what I had to do. And so that's kind of how we carried that relationship while she was in prison. And then she came home. So.
And then she came home and we started seeing pictures and
Oh, what, me and her?
happy picture. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you see, for the longest time, we were not allowed to show those,
Yeah, I know.
which is why they didn't come out.
Right.
And then, you know, some mess happened.
It
And
did.
you will see.
Listen.
And so now, like,
So
to the day, and today, like, every time I go on my Instagram live with some people constantly questioning me, where is Lindsey or where she's at? Why are you always alone? Why are you always by yourself? All I'm gonna say is, okay, there's a such thing as long distance, but because I remember I said on the special that, you know, I was gonna move to Mississippi, and like I said, you'll see.
listen.
And then things changed at one point in time where it was said that she was supposed to be here, and that's the truth. But stuff happens, and there's a such thing as long distance, and you know, I don't know, stuff happened for a reason because
Yeah.
all the events lead up to something a lot more special.
Okay.
So that's all.
All right. Do you see yourself doing another season or are you done? For right now, for right now.
For right now, I'm done.
You done?
It ain't that I don't want to say I'm bitter. I could never be bitter at this opportunity. It's just you get eye openers to a lot of things, and you realize, I don't know, you just kind of realize how trying to put this in the word. You realize what your real worth is, and a lot of things sometimes you just get tired of being put in uncomfortable situations or
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable things. It's just stuff that you wouldn't normally do or say. As far as Lindsey goes, you know what I'm saying? Things, you know what, that season, what you're going to see of Lindsey, I believe Lindsey is going to be Lindsey.
Yeah.
Lindsey's Lindsey.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you'll see a different side of Lindsey.
Well, I really do feel like this. I believe that the Lindsey we seen with her ex is not going to be the same Lindsey that we see with you.
That's Scott, and I'm me. You
Right.
gonna look,
I totally believe
so,
that. I mean, I totally believe that.
but that don't mean Lindsey is no angel
I know.
by any means. And
Beyonce, you know, no, I don't believe that 1 minute.
it's just
We
some
also,
stuff.
I mean, let's not forget, we also seen a picture of Lindsey kissing that dude.
Yeah, well,
So,
about that, I just, you see, this is why I get on my Instagram lives after these episodes. and tell my truth. Because I can't control what gets shown on that
Right.
screen. What I can control my social media.
Yeah.
And I believe that's why my following is as big as it is right now. Because one of the things they tell you is when you first do this, grow your following until you start doing it, in my opinion. And then all of a sudden, certain people want you to be quiet and shut up and don't stay off social media and stay off your Instagram live. I'm not going to do that. I've
Right.
been on my social media before, during, and after I'm on TV, I'm going to be on it.
Yeah.
And I started off with 198 followers, and I built my following in large part because of the show. Because if it wasn't for the show, nobody would know who I was. But I made it even bigger. What is 58 point something K and counting? Because I do what I do. Because
Yeah.
I'm interactive. Because I'm probably one of the only cast members that will get on Instagram Live and interact with people and let people see how I really am.
Yeah.
So they can see another side of me versus just what's portrayed. Because if
Right.
that's all you got to go off of, that's all. And what I'm getting at, and this is why I go on live and tell my truth, because I just got a funny feeling that video that you're talking about ain't gonna be shown, or I just got a funny feeling that guy. I'm gonna just clear up something because I keep hearing all these bloggers say that about that person. That is not Lindsey's ex. That's
And you're
not
supposed to
her.
be telling me this.
That's not her ex. You will learn about that person when the time is right. And in due time, you'll learn about that person. I'm not gonna say too much about it or about
Okay.
him, but you'll learn who it is. And obviously, me and him
All
ain't
right.
fans of each other. But
Right. All right. Because I
um,
don't want you to get in trouble. I
but
don't want you to get in trouble.
I try to, yeah. The reason why I'm not up here bashing nobody except Nicole, because I don't care about Nicole or Tia. I try to see the good in everybody, in every situation. I take some good out of it, and like I said, you don't know what happened. Only me and Lindsey know. So don't nobody know what's. I see all these rumors out here.
Yeah.
I see all these people thinking that we just did this. We just did it to be on TV, and they're just put together for the show. That's like, which is crazy because we wasn't even gonna be on the show originally
Yeah.
because they was mad that we was talking to each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then people found out, and then
Mhm.
they had to.
Yeah.
So, I hear that, and then I hear, I just hear stuff, and
Okay.
I ain't confirming nothing until it airs. That's
All
all I'm
right.
gonna say.
Okay.
But I would say this, the things happen for a reason. I take something positive out of every situation.
Okay.
In the here and the now, things happen for a reason. And I don't
Okay.
think that I would be, your blessings come when you least expect it.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll put it that way.
Yes,
And
sir.
I definitely got a blessing I didn't expect.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So you've met many of the other castmates. They cool.
I mean, did I meet a lot of them?
I mean, but you met Brittany and Marcelino, which I call Latino Heat. I will say this. I really, really like them. I wish they wasn't on the show because I really like them. I mean, I have said this. I wish they wasn't on the show because I just wish they would, have this, white picket fence,
Yeah.
home life, and stay out of television because they
I
seem cool.
I love them to death. I love them
Yeah,
to
they seem
death.
so cool.
Brittany, I always call her when I do talk to her. I'd be like, "What's
Mhm.
up, co-host?" I love. And Marcelino just cool as a fan, man.
Yeah.
I remember when we was doing the special, he pulled us to the side. He said, "Hey man, you guys got to take this and run with it, man. You're carrying the banner. It's once in a lifetime opportunity, man. Got to take this and run with it, man. You
Right.
guys are." I was like, and then yeah, a lot of the cast talks to me. Like
Mhm.
it gets me in trouble sometimes because some
Yeah.
people don't like that. But look, I can't help it that people like me. Like I can't
Yeah.
help it that I'm a people person,
You
and
are. You are.
you know what I'm saying? It's kind of impossible to think that all of us that are on the same TV show have not interacted with each other at some point
Yeah.
or even
Hmm.
met each other at some point. Because come on, man.
Yeah.
But, you know, but yeah, obviously I met some of them. Rachel's the one I see the most,
Yeah. I
you
like
know.
Rachel.
She's,
Rachel is very well liked. She just seems
yeah,
so cool. Yeah, I like Rachel.
she's the one I see the most. But,
Yeah.
I met a few of them, and, Lacey and them ain't but 45 minutes from me.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I talked to a lot of them. I
Yeah.
guess it done came out that I know Indy now, because that
She live in Maryland, right?
yeah, I just said that because it didn't surface on the internet that I hung out with them once upon a time. It just was a whole deal.
Okay.
But
Have
I
you met
mean,
Harry?
nah, I ain't never met him.
But have you met Indy?
Yeah, I met him. Yeah, I was. I'm gonna just put it this way. I got yelled at for that just because I was out there on a boat dancing. Hanging out with them and Yolanda and them. But
Okay.
I just had some stuff going on and just yeah.
They were cool?
Yeah, they're a cool family.
Yeah.
They're real nice, down to earth people. Actually,
Yeah.
they just are some outgoing
Yeah.
people and just like to have
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yolanda is Yolanda, just like how you see that's
Right.
Yolanda.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like my
Yeah.
mama is my mama. so,
None like Mama Deontay, honey.
so,
None like.
but some of the other cast, we talk to each other through Instagram, whatever. We're all.
Have some other cast members been jealous of your success?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I heard some people try to tell me that. I ain't gonna
Okay.
say
Have some cast members showed you some shade? Thrown you some shade?
other than Tia and Nicole.
Other
Nah.
than, of course, not them.
I'm trying to think. Not that I'm aware of.
Because why would they? Why would they?
I pretty much get along with the majority, all of the cast. Like, it's something that I just have never really spoke to.
Hmm.
Like I ain't never really spoke to Harry or, you know, Doug. I don't want to talk to Doug, because I'm a Rachel fan, so I
Oh
don't
no,
want to
don't
talk.
nobody want to talk to Doug.
So it's just as far as I know, none of them have been jealous of me. What success I got? I'm a cast member just like them.
Right.
I'm a little popular, but that's it.
Well, there's some cast members that are more likable. I just say that.
Yeah.
There's more.
Some people call me the joke of the franchise. You know what I mean? Some people call me the star of the franchise. I get different, you know.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed your season. Let me tell you,
Thank you.
I did.
I just feel like I'm a regular dude. Like
Well, you are.
I still be getting tripped out when people be all fan girling and boying over me when they see me out of town and stuff. It tripped me out. I don't know
What
why.
do your coworkers think?
They make fun of me all the time. You know what? I work in a big shipyard, so people from other shops be calling my shop trying to ask, do I work in that shop? Or sometimes people will come from other shops to see me, or they'll see me walking out the gate or something and hit me up on Instagram. I see you walking out the gate. And stuff like that. So it's
Have
yeah.
any other places, I guess not places, shows, hit you up to be on their show?
Not that I know of. No,
Mm-hmm.
I've had some agents try to
Mm-hmm.
kick me up, and then I had people want me to model, which I'm actually interested in.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that, Deontay. Deontay, I don't know who you think you are up there, shirtless, got your chest out, got your ass. I was like, boy, if you don't go somewhere and sit down,
You know why I do that stuff
for what?
for one thing, I'm proud of the way I look.
Okay,
If you got it, flaunt it. But
you better do it.
I do that stuff a lot because I used to have, I talk to these influencers that pay attention to my numbers on my Instagram, and because I post so much, I gain a lot of traction, and so they're like, you have to keep doing that. Which is
Oh.
why I used to post so frequently. I done kind of slowed down now, but before they used to be like, you gotta post at least 3 times a day, whatever, a selfie, a thirst trap picture, which is what those are. Go live, whatever you gotta do, because your numbers go up. And then I done started paying attention to my insights and stuff, and they write. And now I get paid for my reels that I post on Instagram.
You keep on doing that. Now,
Like,
see,
that's
I
why,
made it a decision not to follow anybody I review. So I don't
yeah,
follow you because I'm like, if I follow him, I'm going to be biased. And I don't want to be biased.
yeah,
So you pop up on my feed a lot because we have communicated.
yeah.
And I was like, now look at DAONTE. DAONTE just up here just glistening. I was like, at least she ain't Ash.
Nah, that's why I come up with these little skits and stuff, because I get these little Instagram bonuses where I get money for those, and it's crazy because a lot of people be trying to call me an attention whore or something like that, or a fame seeker, and I'm just like, who wouldn't want to see fame if you got it? Like, and I don't
Right.
even consider this fame. I'm just on TV,
Mm-hmm.
because I consider fame when you making money, like millions of.
Money.
I'm
Okay,
making
money.
I am making a little bit of money from doing the show, but it ain't nothing that, like, it ain't the end all be all for me.
Yeah,
It ain't
right.
all.
Mm-hmm.
If I was making like actual TV money, yeah, I would consider me famous. But if
Yeah.
you getting attention, why wouldn't you
I
want it?
agree.
So I mean, and it's crazy, and if you getting people that's actually are celebrities noticing you, like I just did this Family Matters skit as a reel, and Darius McCrary, who was actually Eddie Winslow,
Mm-hmm.
gave me some love on my
Right.
Instagram in my comments. And then he liked my post, and I commented back to him, and he liked my comment. That meant I was like, dude, this Eddie Wynn. I grew up watching this
Right.
dude.
Right.
Which is that's the reason why I try my best to interact with people. Like
Mm-hmm.
I done got slack with it lately, because I used to check my DMs all the time and try to
Uh-huh.
respond to everybody, but it just gets so overwhelming because it's so much I just don't get to it. Or I get so many comments,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to pay attention to them all. But I used to try to do that all the time, because it means something to people. When your
It does.
favorite TV star
Mm-hmm.
or reality star or
Mm-hmm.
something, even if they like something you said,
Right.
they showing you that they actually paid attention to what you
Right.
said. That means
Mm-hmm.
something. So
I agree.
yeah. So I try to
And
be.
just wait till the new season starts. It's just gonna
Well,
it's gonna go crazy. It's
I
gonna
don't
go
know.
crazy.
I got a feeling I'm gonna look like a villain for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, I can't wait.
You just
When
gonna
I
see
tell
it. You
you,
just
I
gonna see
can't
it.
wait.
You just gonna see another side of me. Okay.
Okay.
You listen, man. Sometimes you just get fed up, and enough is enough,
Yeah.
and you just get all the way out your character. And even me, yeah.
We'll just wait and see.
And you will see, you talking about my glistening body. Trust me, you will see a lot. Woo, yeah. They got some good TV up out of me.
Deontay, are we gonna see?
Are you gonna see what?
Are we gonna see you in a compromising position? Oh my, Deontay!
I mean, I'm gonna put it this way. You remember that one season where you seen Sean get out the shower and you saw?
All right. Well, I appreciate you and good luck in whatever you do. I am looking forward. I think a lot of us are looking forward to this upcoming season.
I'm hoping. I ain't gonna say it's the end, because you never know what might happen.
Well, you never know what might happen.
But I really don't want this inmate stigma on me all the time. So you know, if you don't see me back on the show after this, hopefully you'll see me somewhere else. That's kind of the goal right now.
Well, who's to say that you can do a spin?
Uh, that ain't up to me. But I just take this momentum as far as I can, and if I lose it at some point, then it was a fun ride while I had it. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Sasta's friends, that's it. Me and Deontay finally did our interview, and it was a pleasure. It really was. And Deontay,
We, we'll
I wish
get
you well.
we'll get Derek with the smooth skin next
Oh
time.
yes, honey, get down. I forgot I even said
Yeah.
Deontay. I can't believe you said that, honey. Their skin is smooth, honey.
Yeah.
Can't do nothing with it. All right, Deontay. I hope you have a good rest of your night, and thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. No
All
problem.
right.